Good morning, good morning, good morning to everybody. As we begin our program this morning, we shall all stand for the national anthem, which will be instrumental format. So kindly stand for the national anthem. Thank you very much. Please remain standing as I call on Sister Sharon Saltibus to lead us in prayers.
Those of you who sign yourselves, please do. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, our hearts are full of gratitude as we celebrate this momentous occasion, the 90th anniversary of our cherished institution. We thank you for the blessings you have showered upon us over these many years, for the guidance and wisdom you have provided, and for the strength you have given us to overcome challenges and celebrate triumphs. As we look back on the decades that have passed, we honor those who have come before us, the pioneers and the leaders who have laid the foundation upon which we stand today. We give thanks for their vision, their dedication, and their unwavering commitment. May their legacy continue to inspire us as we move forward. Lord, we pray for unity and strength among us all. May today's gathering not only be a time of reflection, but also a time of renewed commitment to the mission and purpose that have sustained our SLTU for these 90 years. Help us to continue building a future that honors the past and embraces the opportunities of tomorrow. We offer this prayer in your holy name. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you very much, Sister Sharon Saltibus. Whilst you were doing the prayer, something came to mind. Usually when somebody dies, we observe a minute of silence. So I'm thinking, now that we have Juju and the rest, what do we do? So we sort of have to maybe sing, goodness of God, you know. We will sing of the goodness of God, you know. So we may want to share a little of something like that, you know. Let us sing of the goodness of God. We will sing of the goodness of God. That also incorporates your presence here today. You are here, you made it, God made it possible, and so this is part of it too, the goodness of God. Thank you very much. Okay. Esteemed past presidents. Brother Urban Dolor, Brother Walter Francois, esteemed past General Secretaries, Sister Mariana Alexander, Brother Wayne Cumberbatch, Sister Chantal Peter, current President of the St. Lucia Teachers Union, Sister Vern Charles, representative from St. Lucia Trade Union Federation, First Vice President, Brother Cyprian Montrop. Representatives from Sagico, Mr. Jason Edward and Mrs. Jean Clovis. Representative from the St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative, Ms. Charmaine Pierre. Former members of executive. Present members of the executive. Members of General Council. members of the St. Lucia Teachers Union 90th Anniversary Planning Committee, members of the media, other invited guests. We are here today, an auspicious occasion. We are here today celebrating 90 years of the St. Lucia Teachers Union. I'm thinking about it, and I'm saying, if my mother was here still, she would have been here perhaps, because as a past teacher, I always remember the days when she tried her best to encourage all her daughters to be teachers. So there were 8 of us at home teaching as well. Yes. And so throughout these 90 years, there are so many things that we experience, so many things that we know transpired. At this point in time, I would like to call on Mrs. Vanetta John to do the welcome remarks. Thank you, Mrs. John. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. We are delighted to have you here today as we come together to celebrate the 90th anniversary of the St. Lucia Teachers Union. Your presence truly makes this occasion special. I would like to extend a special welcome to our distinguished guests, those who are currently present and also on their way, who served as former SLTU leaders in the capacity of presidents and/or general secretaries. Dr. Kenny Anthony, Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot, Brother Urban Delors, Brother Wilbert King, Brother Walter Fossois, Brother Leo Clark, Brother Don Howell, former General Secretaries, Brother Gilroy Satney, Dr. Kenshri Jean-Pierre, Sister Mary Anna Alexander, Brother Wayne Cumberbatch, Brother Don Howell, Sister Chantal Peter. I would also like to extend special welcome to representatives from the St. Lucia Trade Union Federation, First Vice President, Brother Cyprian Montreux. Representatives from Sagicor, Mr. Jason Edwin and Mrs. Jean Clovis. Representatives from the St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative, Ms. Charmaine Pierre. Other former members of executive, present members of executive, members of general council. Let us take this moment to welcome all educators who are at home or abroad viewing on social media and other online platforms. Special welcome to Julian Monrose, who is currently out of state on trade union business and is viewing online. Mr. Monrose served in the capacity of president. Today, August 9th, 2024, marks a momentous occasion during which we celebrate 90 years of solidarity, advocacy, and progress. Let us reflect on the journey which has brought us thus far. Once again, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, General Secretary. You said it again. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Gilroy, Brother Gilroy Satney, our esteemed past General Secretary. Welcome. Thank you. All right. Okay. Solidarity, advocacy, and progress. 90 years. At this point in time, we are going to have a reflection. The reflection entails past presidents, past general secretaries, who will highlight, or they may review, they may decide to share an important event which transpired during their tenure as president or as general secretary. Some of the people whom we expect to be here are not here yet, but we may have to work around it. I'm not sure whether they will meet us in time for us to be part of this session, but we are going to have this nonetheless. Okay. 1934 to 1924. How many of us would like to be there for 2034? 2034. Raise your hand. I will sing of the goodness of God. Okay, we know God is in control. So in 2034, everybody would like to be seated here, or rather be around to celebrate 100 years of the St. Lucia Teachers Union. Me too. All right. Okay. So our first, we had an order for them, but they were not there yet. Okay. In the meantime, between time, Brother Obandolo, raise your hand. All right. I would like to acknowledge your presence. I saw when you walked in, that's true. Put your hands together for Brother Obandolo. I was looking forward to seeing you. All right. Okay. Brother Walter Francois, I see you there. Enjoy. Thanks. All right, thanks. Okay, put your hands together. Okay, so we have Brother Obandolo. We have Dr. Walter. We have, as our past general secretaries, with us we have Sister Mariana Alexander. Put your hands together for her, please. Brother Wayne Cumberbatch. Put your hands together for, yes. Sister Chantal Peter. Put your hands together for her. Okay, welcome again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Fine. So at this point in time, we are requesting a reflection. We look at the theme, solidarity, advocacy, and progress. Yes? I think at the end of yours, I think I am not on the list, but I would like to share something as well. Okay? So we will begin with Brother Obandolo. All right. Do we have a thing, Mike? How you call it? Oh, he'll come to the front. Okay, fine. Thanks. Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing today? I didn't think I was going to be first, so I didn't queue up my speech. So that'll give me a little minute there. So one of the things I must say, though, is that when I was preparing this, I was reminded of a skill that we acquired when I was in primary school, and I imagine that's the whole for people like Mr. Satney, Dr. Francois, Walter Francois, and Marianne Alexander. In other words, the people who went to school in the 60s. We used to do something called, where you basically had to prepare a cable, you know? So you were going to send a cable, and so you had to be very precise. You couldn't say, you couldn't put a word that wasn't absolutely necessary because you were paid by the word. So given that I have exactly 3 minutes to deliver, I had to pay out every word that didn't actually add much. However, what I can say is that one of the major battles of the SLTU was the prolonged effort for a woman to exercise her Genesis-given right, the one which commands that she should be fruitful and multiply. For those of you who don't remember, that's from Genesis 1:28. There were many episodes associated with that battle, and I am sure that Comrade Satney can describe that fight significantly better than I can. Instead, I want to share some little known and probably forgotten by most facts associated with the battle. Staff of the SLTU formed a bargaining unit, which meant that staff at the college was subject to a different set of working conditions and rules. Among other things, the Board of Governors instituted a unique set of rules and regulations for the college's staff. College staff were anxious that these rules did not abrogate the rights of unmarried women to have children. Members of the staff association, the SLTU branch that comprised college staff, went through the rules and did not find any rule or regulation pertaining or protecting unmarried pregnant teachers. We approached Mr. Thomas, Little Thomas that is, Sir Little Thomas, well, he was Mr. Thomas at the time, with a demand that such I came in back my time, one thing. We approached Mr. Thomas with a demand that such protection should be enshrined in the rules and regulation. Mr. Thomas insisted that such protection would never find its way into the rules and regulations because such addition was to the disadvantage of female teachers. He pointed out that a principle of natural justice, and in fact a linchpin of natural justice, is that a person cannot be penalized for a law that does not exist. What's more, he argued, explicit reference to unmarried teachers in the college rule would have unpleasant consequences for the Ministry of Education. That's a very important point, that you cannot be penalized for a law that does not exist. In fact, some of you may know that I am a mediator and a mediator trainer. The Eastern Caribbean Court recruited me because I was the president of the SLU at the time. This principle, that you cannot be penalized for a law that does not exist, has in fact helped me to solve or to help the parties arrive at a solution because of the power of that rule. Let me just end by saying that Mr. Thomas was, in fact, an early secretary of what eventually became the St. Lucia Teachers Union. So notwithstanding that he had calypsos made about him, that he was the boss and that he was the second boss, he was, in fact, a man of principle and a man who stood for principle, which showed when he was, in fact, the principal of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Urban Dollar. Anybody would like to share similar sentiments? Something pertaining to you cannot be penalized for the law that does not exist? Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much. That's something that we will remember. Our next is Dr. No, he's not. One of our past general secretaries, Sister Mariana Alexander. Would you like to share something with us, please? Okay. All right, so we move on to Brother Wayne Cumberbatch. Thank you very much. Let's welcome him. Yeah, thanks. Oh, just now. There's a vehicle that is obstructing traffic. PC 8692. PC 8692, you're obstructing traffic. Okay, thanks. It has been corrected. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And like Mr. Dolo, I had to cue up my speech because I thought that the paper that we were given was the order. Madam President and executive of SLTU, former leaders of the SLTU, the media, who I think is very important here because it's a media launch, and the other invited guests. And I want to just make special mention of the members from Sagicor, because I see Jason there, and Jason was telling me that I have not changed. But Jason has been a very good friend of SLTU for a very long time, working with Humelia and during my time at the SLTU. And we worked very well to ensure the success of the union. And the SAGECO has been a very good asset for our members with regards to the healthcare and insurance purposes. Okay, now, I've always had a little problem with the technology. First, let me thank the SLTU for inviting me to give a brief reflection on this great organization that has supported and nurtured us for such a long time. A former colleague of mine, Ms. K. Louis, a former teacher and now an attorney at law, chose in the year of 2000 when she was studying at Keyville, Barbados, to, as part of her Caribbean Studies research, take a look at the history of the SLTU. Kay produced a comprehensive study on the SLTU, chronicling the progress of the Union from 1944 to 1999. This study features, among other things, the early years of the Union and what she referred to as the militant years, and which she coined or she categorized as 1958 to 1999. And in there, she mentioned the factors which led to the militancy of the Union at the time. I believe it would be productive for the SLTU to make that study a part of a publication on the history of SLTU and have it there for the archives of the Union. The study shows how trade unionism began to take root in St. Lucia somewhere around 1907, with the coal carrier strike and the Sugar Valley strike in Roseau, called the Sac and Dennery. Workers were killed, injured, and arrested during that period. A significant period at the time was the 1940s, where there were important developments taking place with workers in St. Lucia. And it is during that time that St. Lucia Teachers Union was formed. Kay, in a study, mentioned, and I quote, "One observes the existence of a teachers' association as early as 1944. The study, unquote, the study highlights that by 1949, SLTU became a member of the British West Indies and the British Guiana Association, now called the Caribbean Union of Teachers. By then, they had then become an officially recognized trade union. So here we are today, 90 years later, to reflect on the massive impact that this union has had on teachers, on education, and the workers' movement. Okay, I hope, and I'm sure, that the celebrations of this 90 years milestone as it is rolled out, will give us some time to reflect on the work of the SLTU and the work of the various leaders from 1944 to now. Some time ago, Brother George Ariste led a committee that compiled a booklet that highlighted all of the general secretaries and the presidents from 1944 up until that time. And maybe it would be timely for us to take that booklet and carry it on to a point which is more current. Okay. For me, I became involved in SLTU as early as 1982, when as a new teacher, I became an active member of the Vivote branch. I went on to serve in various positions until I became full-time General Secretary of the Union from 2001 to 2012. Some significant thing that happened during that time was the implementation of the St. Lucia Education Act and the St. Lucia Labor Code, which received active input from the leadership of the union at the time. The period which I served as General Secretary had its share of successes and challenges, and I just want to make mention that I served with the presidents of Brother Urban Dolo first, who was a major mentor for me, and then soon after that, I served with Brother Julian Monrose. During that period, SLTU, for the first time, had recorded a high of 96.96% membership of teachers on the island. It was a period where we were able to negotiate numerous benefits, and some of them I can just mention quickly: the reduction of the teacher-pupil ratio, paternity leave, physical education teachers at all primary schools, special leave, a new performance appraisal process, special provisions for multi-grade teachers, and many more. During that time, we also saw an aggregate percentage increase of 27.5% in salary. We further were in the forefront of the formation of the Trade Union Federation, and I went on to become the first General Secretary of that organization. During that period, SLTU was named by EI, by Education International, as one of the leading teacher unions in the Caribbean. There is so much that one can say about SLTU, but the time does not permit. As I end, I would like to pay homage to all of those persons who chose to come forward to participate in the leadership of this organization. All the teachers who chose to be members of SLTU. You have been a major part of the success of education and trade unionism in this country. You have been part of this important motto, unite for power and progress. I look forward to a wonderful celebration of this milestone of 90 years of existence of this remarkable trade union. Long live St. Lucia Teachers Union. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Wayne Cumberbatch. Good. During your tenure, we saw the implementation of the Education Act and the Labor Code. Thank you. Untold stories. We have heard from a past president, Brother Urban Dolo. We heard from a general secretary, a past general secretary, Brother Wayne Cumberbatch. And so we will now call on, and we acknowledge the presence first of Brother Don Howell, the past president, immediate past president of the St. Lucia Teachers Union. Without further ado, do not warm up your seat. Brother Don Howell, you have no time to warm your seat. Would you like to warm your seat for a little while? Or you can, all right, you can come up to the podium now to share your experiences or to give us one of the significant events that you had during your tenure. Put your hands together for Brother Don Howell.
Was it? All right, no problem. Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Happy birthday, SLTU. And I think we need to give ourselves a round of applause. 90 years. I acknowledge the presence of the President, Sister Vern Charles, other members of the executive of the SLTU, General Secretary, Sister Vanetta John, past presidents, past General Secretary. I note three of them I want to mention: Brother Cumberbatch, Brother Satney, and Sister Peter. In my time in SLTU, those three General Secretaries, those three General Secretaries would have been most instrumental in my development within the organization. Colleagues, I was asked to give a short reflection, and I started writing a few days ago, because there's a lot from 2008, when I started on the executive of the SLTU, to present. I have remained serving the organization for the last 16 years in various capacities. I did serve in the capacity as well as of General Secretary under President, the great Brother Julian Monrose. And we can give him a round of applause, because he was the longest serving president of the SLTU. And I would have served all of those years with him as president, and we would have accomplished as executives a number of things I'm sure were highlighted, especially by Brother Cumberbatch and maybe Sister Peter in her presentation as General Secretary. For me, when I became president, I never imagined, apart from all the negotiations that we would have done before, the collective agreements, the highest salary increases, I would have been part of that executive. But for me, I never imagined that I would be president during a pandemic. I'm the first one, the first president to have led the organization through and out of a pandemic. And for me, I never imagined that if becoming president, that was the challenge I would have faced. I imagined the big crowd, the negotiations, and coming to speak. But then during the pandemic, we couldn't meet. We couldn't meet our members the way that we wanted to. We couldn't interact with them. Conditions of work were being reevaluated. Collective bargaining articles, the rights that we won in previous years, were being threatened because of the pandemic. And so the SLTU really had to make its focus then, had to stop and rethink everything that it was doing and make its focus that of preserving the rights of its members that were won, and also ensuring that we took health and safety as its number one priority during the pandemic. And so yes, we had to at some points flex our trade union arm, and I want to give credit as well to Sister Peter, who was General Secretary at the time, where we had to find innovative ways to maintain our trade union strength. And from all of the evaluation that we would have done, even a research we conducted post-pandemic by the SLTU showed that the SLTU did a fantastic job in bringing the organization through a pandemic. And so I would I would mention this as one of the biggest challenges. Not to mention as well that, you know, we would have also tried to ensure that all members, because it was a divide and conquer approach, that all members remained in solidarity with each other. So when some got increases in TMA, all had to get increases in TMA. When we're looking at the Education Act, we had to ensure that more time was given for members to be part of that Education Act review. And so I think SLTU, we have done well. We continue to write history. And I want to take this opportunity to wish the new executive, to wish this organization well as we move forward, post-pandemic, with new challenges, with new trials on the horizon, but knowing that once we remain united for power and progress, the SLTU will always be victorious. Long live. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Howell. Brother Don Howell, you know, your presentation actually complemented the other two who were before you. When we look at the theme, we heard a lot about solidarity from Dr. Urban Dolor. Then we heard sorry. Okay, then thank you, correction, all right. Then we heard from Brother Wayne Cumberbatch. He spoke a lot of advocacy. And now you have come in to complement the reflection with a lot on the progress that we have made over the past few years. So we can put our hands together. We have actually completed it well. I would like to call on now our present president, Miss Vern Charles, who will deliver the president's address. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. It's still morning. Good day to the members of SLTU. Today is a good day. And I would like to acknowledge here with us our past presidents of the SLTU, our past general secretaries, our present executive members and general council members, our specially invited guests, Brother Cyprian Montrup, the representative from the St. Lucia Trade Union Federation, first vice president, I believe. Our representatives from Sagicor, Mr. Jason Edward and Mrs. Jane Clovis. Sagicor has been walking a very good walk with the SLTU over the years. Representatives from the St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative, Ms. Charmaine Pierre. This is our, I don't like to say sister organization, our daughter, yeah? Members of the SLTU Anniversary Planning Committee, members of the media, all the invited guests, our ushers and our staff members, thank you for being here with us. Welcome. I wish us all a happy 90th anniversary, the happiest of all birthdays. Before I move into my speech, there are some persons who wish they could have been here today. They had indicated that they would have been able to, but unfortunately, due to circumstances, they cannot make it. And I need to mention those persons. Our past female president, Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot, Brother Leo Clark, Dr. Kenny Anthony. They, of course, indicated that they would have been able to make it, but unfortunately, due to some pressing matters, they are unable to make it here with us today. But I hope that they get the chance to at least have the link and catch a little of what is happening here today. My wonderful brothers and sisters, friends, I am honored to be here today with so many inspirational people associated with the progress of the Union and who have been instrumental, each in their own way, in bringing about a better nation. The SLTU does not forget where it came from, and I'm so thankful to you, Brother Cumberbatch. I was not aware of Sister Louise's thesis, what it entailed, but believe you me, I will be contacting her very soon. Our organization knows that it came from movers and shakers, and we love to acknowledge those persons. Our pride in this organization comes from the past and present, and as I listened to the reflection of some of our past presidents and general secretaries, I smiled. For each one has indeed left an indelible footprint on the SLTU landscape, and for this we are grateful. Let me take this opportunity to say thank you, a huge thank you, to everyone who has served the SLTU. The SLTU executive, past members, present members, general council members, all committee members of the SLTU, staff, and all members of SLTU. It is your dedication and passion and sacrifices in many instances which can today allow us to celebrate 90 years. For in the SLTU, we know that we are part of something great. We're not just any ordinary trade union. We are great. You are great because you are a member of this teacher trade union movement. I am even more honored to be standing here as a fourth female president of this formidable organization at this point in time. And can assure you that I will use all I've heard today and all I will continue to hear and all I will continue to read to inspire me every day throughout my journey. For 90 years, the SLTU has stood up every day in this small island to improve the circumstances of educators, their families, and ultimately our community and society. Success is never fully guaranteed in our quests, but our efforts and our commitment to fairness and the improvement of the worker is unrelenting. The SLTU does not give up and is never deterred. And today, what do? We celebrate 90 years of this type of work. Our achievement in those years is, of course, too numerous to mention. But we know that we have helped to build this country, St. Lucia. And even as we build, sorry, I have to say it, when I look at Julian Alfred, we take a little bit of her too. Because the SLTU was the organization that gave her or afforded her the ability to travel and represent the island at a regional level in 2014 at the CUT Championship Games. So we do contribute and continue. We have helped to build this country. We had a prime minister who was a past president. Am I correct? Yes. We right now have our third female president serving as a minister. So we continue to build this country, St. Lucia, and there are so many other ways. We have lifted families out of poverty. We ensure that the educators' rights are respected and that remuneration improves to match the cost of living as much as possible. As a nation, we have embraced democracy and ensured that structures and pathways for continuity and sustainability is there in our organization. Democracy rules. Capacity building is one of our fortes. We just ended our CTF Summer Institute program, a program that we've had continuously for over 30 years. And as Brother Howell spoke, I remember, it's so true. Nothing stopped at SLTU during our pandemic, because even during the pandemic, we were able to host a virtual CTF summer program. And as first vice president, I can tell you it was successful. Our great leaders here with us can tell us of the struggles and fights we had to endure to get us where we are. But you know what? Those struggles have not come to an end. The struggles continue. The fights continue, especially as unions fight to remain relevant in our society, because many of our younger teachers and individuals believe there is no real need for a union. It's far from the truth. In education presently, let me just share with you just a few of our challenges. We struggle now with educators' health and wellness. Education International statistics reflect that this is a worldwide issue. Teachers are facing great concerns with their physical and mental wellness as teacher workloads increase and they suffer from teacher burnout. Talk to any teacher and come tell me that's not true. The threat of artificial intelligence is right there. People believe that it's going to be replacing teachers. But we cannot dehumanize education. And if we do this, the consequences are going to be enormous. But the discussion has not even come to the table yet. Sad. Teacher migration is increasing. Our master teachers are leaving for greener pastures, better pay, better working conditions. What are we doing to keep our teachers here in St. Lucia? Then we have the threat to our professionalism as individuals, because with our master teachers migrating, we need new teachers. And we have a crop of new teachers coming in straight from secondary school with no pedagogical training, not even a week of training to help them know what school entails, what is expected. And this, in effect, is beginning to affect the professionalism of teachers. I know for sure that none of you will allow a surgeon to operate on you unless he has done the necessary prerequisites. However, anyone can simply come into a classroom and work with students. And many times they pick up or they emulate some habits from a teacher that they've seen before. And maybe it's not the best. And I remember when I came into school, and what was I told? The children are giving trouble. I'm young. I just came from secondary school. What do? Beat them. So that didn't work out very well for me. Teacher harassment and violence in school remains a heated topic. It's not going away. It needs to be addressed. My dear brothers and sisters, I've never attended a 90th birthday and been so bold to tell the recipient of the birthday wishes that you've got more work to do. But the SLTU has more work to do. And the SLTU will always have more work to do. It has had it in the past, and we never know what the situations may be. Look at how Brother Howell was able to bring SLTU through a pandemic. We never know what awaits us, so we always have to be prepared. Our job as a trade union is to restore value to the collective bargaining process, to add more voices to the democratic decision-making in our workplaces. We should be able to ensure that every employee enjoys the right to be a union member free of discrimination, and that more employees exercise that right. As a union, we cannot afford complacency. There is always some injustice to fight and a new cause to champion. And as a trade union, teacher trade union, this is our responsibility. In the past, I guess, because of the nature of the struggles, we had lots and lots of protests, etc. Where's my good sister, Dr. Poyot, who keeps reminding me of the tear gas she took for us to be where we are right now, and we're in a good place. We may not have to do this unless it is fully necessary, that is protest. But we need to constantly engage in dialogue with the powers that be to ensure that everything that our teachers deserve, they get, that they have comfortable working conditions, that they have good pay, that they are happy to be teachers. But as we celebrate our 90 years, I just want us to keep this in mind, that the struggles never end, and new ones prop up based on your current world status. However, I want to go back to our celebrations. We're celebrating 90. The celebration of our 90 years will be infused greatly in our Teachers' Week, or I can say Teachers' Month, because it's a whole month. October will be a whole month of celebrations. But largely in our Teachers' Week activities. The organization is big on inclusion, and as you know, at this point in time, many teachers have traveled. Many of our general council members have traveled. Many of our teachers travel. Of course, this is their time to spread their wings, relax, rejuvenate, because they know what they're coming back to in September. So we want everyone to be present for our celebrations, and therefore most of it will be centered around October. The organization will also embark on the production of a commemorative magazine. I'm very big on, and anyone can tell you that, ensuring that our history is recorded. I've edited 2 commemorative magazines for CUT, and the SLTU needs to have its history down in the books. I know that we have our thesis, so we can get much information from there. We have past presidents and general secretaries, etc., so we can get some articles from there. And we will create a document that persons can keep, persons can have, persons can look back on. New executive members can read and reflect and understand what trade unionism is all about, what teacher trade unionism is all about. And will come to have a deeper appreciation of what they're doing and be passionate, as I am passionate about teacher trade unionism. So we will be embarking on this, and we hope to have this launched in December. I am also announcing our 90th anniversary logo and jingle competition. Let me tell you, some of the most creative, I'm taking that back, the most creative people you will find in the world are teachers. Shall I bring to your attention Miss Shan Lucien, our recently crowned Carnival Queen, who recently won Miss JC's? Shall I bring to your attention Sister Alika Frederick, who is right here with us, Miss Universe St. Lucia? Shall I bring to your attention Mr. Ted Sandyford? And you all know his creativity in art. Brother Arthur Alain, and many others. Well, Calypsonians, when you look at Calypsonians, just say teachers. So we have a wide range of talents. So our members from the SLTU, we are giving them that opportunity to engage in being creative, showing off their creativity. And our logo and jingle will be unveiled at our Teachers' Week activities. We are looking forward to our activities. Our social and cultural committee is working very hard. to also ensure that our sporting program and everything that we do, it infuses our theme, solidarity, advocacy, and progress, the SLTU legacy. I just want to say as I end, or before I end, I forgot a very important group. Our teachers have been very supportive of our corporate society. And during this, our 90th anniversary, we look forward to our cooperative society. We look forward to the businesses out there working hand in hand with educators and showing appreciation to them. So therefore, the SLTU will also be embarking on a special program to reach out to our corporate partners, to reach out to the business sector, private sector, and to get them to support and appreciate teachers, especially during our Teachers Month. I just want to say to all of you that I, Vern Charles, President of the St. Lucia Teachers Union, who started off as a shop steward, then a branch rep, then was given the opportunity to join the Public Relations Committee through Brother Don Howell, then moved on to become PRO, then Deputy General Secretary, then First Vice President. I'm proud to be a member of the St. Lucia Teachers Union. Proud to be the president that is celebrating this 90th anniversary. I'm proud today and I'm proud every day. I must not be too proud. But I'll also continue to be proud to stand with each and every member of the SLTU, each and every teacher, each and every educator in the struggles ahead, and to be victorious in any struggle that we have to undertake. Thank you so very much, SLTU, for everything you do for your members. Thank you for everything you have done for your members. Every single past president, every single past general secretary, all executive members, thank you for everything you have done for the members of the SLTU, and by extension, the country that we love. Happy birthday to the SLTU. Long live the St. Lucia Teachers Union. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Vern Charles. When we think of Carnival, do we have teachers' calypso shows? Okay, right, fine. So I'm just saying this because we are actually very deep into the cultural events in St. Lucia. Thank you. At this point in time, we are preparing for the toast and celebration segment. I'd like to call on Brother Gilroy Satney to do this part of the program. Yes, please. The ushers will come around to pour the champagne for you, and whilst Mr. Satney makes a brief presentation. Thanks.
90 and staying strong. I ask the SLTU to remain strong. And I also want, like others, to recognize the current executive of the St. Lucia Teachers Union, current and past executive. And I also want to recognize a young lady who's been with the union since November of 1991, if my memory serves me right, Mrs. Pauletta. It tells me that the teachers' union is a very good employer. You know, the maths or the arithmetic would say she's been with us for 33 years. So she has witnessed a lot of progress. And also I want to recognize Comrade Walter Fassois, who along with Brother King and Comrade Dasheville DeSis provided leadership for our strike, famous strike that lasted 59 days in 1979. I want to remember that. And Brother Dollar, you mentioned, and quite rightly so, the embarrassing situation for female teachers that were being dismissed for carrying out what the Bible says you must do, you must, as women, you must multiply. But they were dismissed and victimized, in my view. What you didn't say, Brother Dollar, was before that, married teachers. Once you became married and pregnant, your place was in the home. You had to go home. Remember that. And also, Brother Deloney asked me to extend his best greetings as well to this forum this morning. Can't be there with us, but I remember his leadership in 1995 that was known as the Summer of Strikes. So, I crave your indulgence before I propose the toast. If you allow me, I will highlight just. And to remind when we celebrated our 60th anniversary in 1994, the theme was unity, power, and progress. And I see the word progress is there as well. Unity, power, and progress. And we are still progressing, comrades. We are still doing so. And also we need to remember today, most importantly, where we started. I remember Michael Holden in a more recent book, his book, Why We Kneel and How We Rise. And he stated in that book, if we do not know and understand where we came from or our past, we can't plan for the future. Michael Holden, the great West Indies fast bowler, or ex-fast bowler of the West Indies. But I want to highlight one thing I have not heard today at all. That is what is known as the reclassification of teachers. A reclassification exercise. Whereby you had teachers who were qualified and graduates, but because they were teachers, they were not being compensated accordingly. So if you were in the public service working in the Treasury and you have a first degree, you are compensated for your qualification. But if you were a teacher, you were not compensated. So we had this exercise to recognize the effort of teachers. So, what would happen? Also, if a teacher was qualified and was not at a secondary school, she would not be paid the salary of a graduate. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? So the civil servant would be paid $5,000, but the teacher, the graduate, would be $1,000, and the difference was huge. And we had to address that serious anomaly at the time. A serious anomaly. And for the life of me, once I remain alive, I will not forget the 3rd of December of 1992 under the leadership, and I will share that with you, under the leadership of Comrade Deloney. Let me share it. I read from a document, or I present from a document which talks about reclassification in the public sector. And I will read accordingly. Following much procrastination by separate government ministries on matters related to the reclassification of the public service, the union called an extraordinary national meeting, that is the St. Lucia Teachers Union, on Thursday, December 3rd, 1992, to protest the further delay of the non-implementation of the reclassification plan to teachers on November 17th. Over 1,000 teachers defied the appeal by the Ministry of Education to stay off the job and take part in the protest action. In other words, members, in other words, former presidents, in other words, teachers, we had completed the exercise, and what was required for parity in the public service was the implementation. And we had to break ranks at that time with the Civil Service Association, or what was known at the time as well, the Industrial Solidarity PAC, that was made up of the St. Lucia Teachers Union, the Civil Service Association, and the National Workers Union. The Civil Service Association was very complacent because the members were not affected. It was only the teachers in the sense. So we had to take the battle, to the streets and bring to the attention of the general public. This was the first strike by the St. Lucia Teachers Union on its own. In other words, our strikes was always joint. But when we noted that there was no support from the civil service, we had to take action on our own to ensure that our persons were adequately compensated, what we call parity for their services. Consequently, the first payment of the 4-year salary adjustment to reclassified salaries and posts in the public service was made on December 17th, 1992. In other words, following the strike, immediately they implemented in December of 1992. Subsequently, 2 other payments were effected, January 1993 and January 1994. Retroactive payments covering the period January 1, 1992 to November 30th, 1992 was done in March of 1993. The final payment under the 4-year adjustment plan was expected and was realized in January of 1995. What did we also do? We also decided with government, you couldn't just have us as graduate teachers because you had to take on board the experience, your own qualifications and what have you. So we ensured that our teachers were classified as graduate teachers 1, graduate teacher 2, graduate teacher 3, graduate teacher 4, and graduate teacher 5. They all fell in different salary ranges. The same was done for principals. For example, you would have a principal, say, at the Clendon Mason Secondary, let us say for argument's sake, 400 students. But at the Viewford Comprehensive Secondary School, you have something like 82 teachers and also over 1,000 students. Because the Viewford Secondary School would have a 5th form, they would have an A-level, and they had the post-secondary. So we decided as well, and we agreed that we would have Principal 1, Principal 2, Principal 3, and Principal 4. So we had, and before that, I remember very well following and before 1992, you could not have seen one vehicle parked by any school because the teachers were not able to afford any transportation. And it also meant that our teachers could hardly save and hardly build a house. So we had to have an arrangement with the St. Lucia Development Bank to say whether or not you have a life insurance, because once you had gone to the bank for a loan, you needed to have life insurance to get a loan to be able to purchase land or to build a house. So we had that understanding, cooperation with the St. Lucia Development Bank under the leadership of Mr. George Theophilus, who agreed once you are a member of the St. Lucia Teachers Union, in good standing, your loan with the development bank could be approved. Now, if you don't know Satney very well, but Comrade Satney do not want any life after death. Because normally all life insurances, they say to you, when you die, you get in so much, so what? So I don't want that. So I want insurance while I'm alive. But so many teachers did not. And that was the fillip that allowed teachers to own their own vehicle, begin owning the house, apart from, at that time. You couldn't. So these are just some or one of the most, from my standpoint, the most important development and decision that had to be taken was the reclassification exercise that took place in 1992. And like the president said, no struggle, unless you make the struggle your life, you are not going to succeed. And when I departed the teachers union, I said, well, we are well on our way, we can move on. But when I sat here this morning, I heard so many strides again. Kambabat said we had to do A, B, and C. We had to, and we have really adequately represented our teachers. And that's why we are still there. And I want to urge you, as I am about to propose the toast, to continue with your St. Lucia Teachers Union. Also, as Michael Holden said, you were hearing from us this morning, to know and to plan for the future. I am sure I can speak on behalf of Comrade Dollar and Wayne and Comrade Walter, and of course, Comrade Howell, I have it right, that we can participate. And I am sure we are still willing to support and participate in the development of the St. Lucia Teachers Union. And Vern, let me also remind you, Madam President, I am an honorary member of the St. Lucia Teachers Union. So I can walk up, participate in meetings. I can't vote, but I cherish that. And I was discussing that with Pauletta. So I expect to receive my invitation from time to time to participate in your annual general meeting or biannual general meeting and make my contribution. So, having said all of that, let me now, for the success and continued success of our great union, as it celebrates its 90th birthday, under the theme Solidarity, Advocacy, and Progress. And on behalf of all who have come before me and those who are here today, I propose this toast. Hip, hip, hip. Hooray. Hip, hip, hip. Hooray. Long live the St. Lucia Teachers Union. Long live. Long live the executive of the St. Lucia Teachers Union. Long live, Long live education. Long live. Long live.
Thank you very much, Mr. Satney, Brother Satney, Gilroy Satney. And I'm just thinking, no wonder so many retirees are still financial members of the union. Let's put our hands together for all those teachers who have retired and they remain as financial members. And as I understood, there are things in place for them, hopefully for this academic year. So, yes, thanks. As we celebrate this milestone, okay, we really understand what is happening. And so we can see progress. And I'm thinking we are in the best place in Bethel blessings. Okay? So at this point in time, I'd like to call on Brother Kim Gaston to do the closing remarks.
Thank you, Sister Julie. Esteemed past president, esteemed past general secretaries, current president of SLTU, representatives from St. Lucia Trade Union Federation, Brother Cyprian Montrop, representatives from Sagicor, Mr. Jason Edwin, Mrs. Jean Clovis, representatives from the St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative, former members and current members of the executive, members of General Council, members of the SLTU 90th Anniversary Planning Committee, members of the media, a pleasant good morning to you. A pleasant good morning to you. All right. I was asked to move swiftly through my contribution because I think there's some fine whining and dining to come, so I will do just that. I hope I am right, Madam General Secretary. The greatest gift that you can give to someone is to say thank you. Powerful words from one Maya Angelou. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored today to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the executive branch of the St. Lucia Teachers Union. As we come to the end of this press launch in recognition of SLTU's 90th anniversary celebration, it would be remiss of me not to acknowledge the contributions of all who made this day a remarkable one. I want to express heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made this occasion very successful. First and foremost, I sincerely extend thanks to our distinguished guests and speakers whose insights and contributions have truly set the stage for what promises to be a remarkable journey and celebration ahead. Let's hear it for our guests and speakers. Your presence and participation have added immense value to our event. For this, we are eternally grateful for the mark that you have made over the years. To you, our stalwarts, today could not have been possible without you. I say thank you. Thank you for your determination, your dedication, your vision, your perseverance, and your unwavering support throughout this journey. As we were reminded earlier through your historical overview, we can proudly stand here today stronger and more united than ever as a result of the fruits of your hard labor. You indeed laid the foundation and built the legacy that we can proudly continue. And we say thank you again for this. Let's hear it for our stalwarts again. Long live SLTU. Long live. A special thank you to the organizing team and volunteers for their hard work and dedication. Sister Vernetta John, Sister Marietta Eugene, and your team, hats off to you. A job well done and executed. Well done. I can still hear my phone vibrating. Sister Vernetta John, Sister Marietta Eugene, they kept us busy. Well done. For the, in whatever capacity you assisted, we say thank you. You worked as a dedicated team. Your commitment to excellence is truly commendable. I wish to take this opportunity to thank all those who played a special role in today's program. Thank you, Madam President, for your words of encouragement and wisdom. I would take this opportunity to express my deep regard for our leader, being a constant motivator and guiding force in propelling SLTU along a progressive path. Hats off to you, Madam President. Thank you, Sister Shirin Saltibus, for your thoughtful prayer. We are truly grateful for the positive thoughts and blessings on the proceedings. Sister Vanetta John again, thank you for the warm and gracious welcome you extended. It helped in setting a positive tone for all of us to gather here. To you, Sister Julie, for your exceptional role as Master of Ceremony, or Mistress of Ceremony. Your professionalism, energy, and engaging presence played a role in the success of the event. Your ability to go through the event with such grace and efficiency ensured everything ran smoothly and was enjoyed by all. Thank you. To our Toastmaster, and I think he did more than just a toast. I think he did a reflection. Well done, sir. Mr. Gilroy Satney, Brother Satney, we thank you for jump-starting the celebration, the very early celebrations. To our sponsors and partners, your support has been instrumental in making this event possible. We deeply appreciate your commitment and generosity and look forward to your continued collaboration to events such as these in the near future. Thank you to the management and staff of Bethel Blessings. I got the name right? All right. The hospitality and kindness that you offered to us as hosts has been exceptional. The atmosphere created was indeed very welcoming. Thank you again. To the members of the media, we thank you for your presence and your services. To all our attendees, thank you for your engagement. Your support and interest inspired us as a united body to continue striving for solidarity, advocacy, and progress. We look forward to your continued partnership and support. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your indulgence. Do enjoy the ambience that this venue has to offer. Socialize and enjoy what has been prepared for you with a lot of love coming from Dennery. Thank you all once again for being here and for making this event a memorable one. Thank you again. Do enjoy. Cheers if we still have wine or champagne.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Brother Kim Gaston. This was wonderful. You know, at this point, there's, when I look around and I say the gold and black and the gold and black and all the, the ambience is so warming, So I'd like to ask office staff, Ms. Pauletta to stand. Anybody else there with you? Okay, I think you deserve a special hand of applause. So, okay, stand. Ladies and gentlemen, she's at the back. Do you want to say anything to us? That's okay. We saw you. At this point in time, too, I will still continue, Mr. Gaston, with the executive members. Kindly stand, please. Kindly stand. The team. Okay. Thank you so very much. You know why yes. You know what we are looking forward to now? That you will engage all members of SLTU as we celebrate this milestone. I know you have a lot of plans, right? But we really, really want to revamp some kind of thing so that the teachers in the school and all honorary members and all financial members can benefit or can participate in the 90th birthday of the St. Lucia Teachers Union. And I think this will keep you there for the 91st, 92nd, 93rd, 94th, 95th, now all the birthdays, okay? Thank you. So we're looking forward to this as solidarity, advocacy, and progress. Please take your seat. Thank you. I think this is the moment we are waiting for. Is it 12 o'clock yet? Okay, before that, we have to sing the solidarity song. So I would call on no other than Mr. Don Howell, Brother Don Howell, immediate past president. He leads a choir. And somebody said it's his favorite song. So you could imagine how well his choir performs with this song.
Well, the choir is always the members of the SLTU. They know how to sing the songs and how to make sure that the SLTU remains standing strong on its two pillars, its professional pillar and its trade union pillar. So let's stand, members, and let us join in singing our solidarity song. Of course, we're only going to do one verse today. I told the General Secretary after that, the bill goes up, you know. Hear the treasurer cry. Right, so our Solidarity Forever song. We will start with the chorus, do a verse, and then come back and do our chorus twice before we end. Okay? Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Yet the force of earth is weaker than the feeble strength is one. But the union makes us strong. Let me hear you now. Solidarity forever. Let's hear you. And those online too, I need to hear you through the live stream. Solidarity forever for the union. Let's do that one more time. One more time. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. Long live the SLTU. Long live. Forward ever. Backward never. Happy 90th. Solidarity forever.
For the union makes us strong. All right. Vive la Rose! All right. We in August month, you know. Don't be away from that, you know. And you know, Mr. Montroop is a Laos king. So, hey, yeah, one. Okay, so any special information about direction for lunch or whatever that we would like to share with members? Thank you. Please be seated. Be seated, and you will be instructed accordingly. Thank you.